Actually, it's pronounced Kaisar, not Caesar. How do we know that Romans originally always pronounced the letter C as a K sound? Like, how do we know they originally said Kaisar and Kentum instead of like Caesar and Centum? I could give you the boring, long linguistic answer, but actually my work's cut out for me. And that's because there's people alive today who speak a descendant of Latin that never changed to that K sound. In most Latin-derived Romance languages like Spanish or Italian, the word for 100 does not have the K sound like the original classical Latin did. So like classical Latin was centum, but then in Spanish it's cien, and then in Italian it's cento. So in basically all of these languages, that K sound changed to a different sound because the following vowel kind of brings your tongue a little bit more forward. It's a really common sound change called palatalization. But in the Logodorese dialect of Sardinian, they just didn't do that. So when they want to say 100, they say centu, which is extremely close to the classical Latin centum. I know what you're thinking. If it's pronounced like a K, then why do they spell it with a CH? That makes the ch sound. But actually, because in Romance languages it was so common to pronounce a C differently before an E or an I, it was easier to just leave it unmarked and assume that it changed, and then mark when it wasn't supposed to be different. So in Italian languages, they usually put an H after the C to mark that it's still a K sound. But then in Spanish and French, they use QU instead. So that's why this Spanish word is pronounced que instead of que. So Logodorese Sardinian is unique not because it did something different, but because it didn't do something different. It preserved the original Latin k pronunciation even in front of vowels like E or I. And I believe it's the same with G. So while standard Italian would pronounce GE as J, they'd pronounce it more like ge. This is one of the reasons linguists often consider Logodorese to be the most conservative Romance language. It's unique not because it changed a bunch of stuff, but because it changed so little.